Hello there, and welcome to Teen Talk with Mr. G. I recently gave a talk at the National Youth Gathering in New Orleans this summer. As I thought about it, I thought maybe I should create a series of YouTube videos about the topics that were presented and maybe deal with some of the issues that teenagers face. My main topic dealt with the creation-evolution issue, but this video series will allow teenagers to ask questions about other topics relating to Christianity as well. Topics like maybe biblical inerrancy, or fossils, or can we really trust God's Word? Things like that. So, without further ado, let's dive right in. The title of my talk was, Are You Mutated Pond Scum? As you can see. We dealt with facts from philosophy, biology, geology, as you can read here, and of course, God's Word. Now, before I continue, you might be asking, why should I even be listening to this guy? How do we know he has any credibility? Well, you should know that most of my 42-year career was as a high school biology teacher at Concordia Lutheran High School in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And I taught biology from a secular biology book. So I pretty much know what evolution says and what it doesn't say. We'll get to that later on in a future video. But to start with, I began my talk with telling an astronomy class story. It has very important implications to this whole creation-evolution issue. To complete my master's, I had to take many science classes, and some of those science classes allowed me a choice of what I wanted to take. So I signed up for an astronomy class. The professor was very engaging, very competent, and not a hint of evolution at all was said. It was all about the true science of planets and stars. Well, toward the last week of the class, a student in the back of the lecture hall, and there were about 100 students in it, including myself. And the student asked, Professor Hottentot, how did the solar system come to be? He started his answer with this quote, Well, let me tell you what actually happened. Immediately I knew that I got him, so I decided to wait until he told his, I'll just call it a scientific fairy tale, of the planetesimal theory, where he talked about the little chunks of rock and how they would all just, collect and as they gained more mass, they sucked in other rocks and particles, and well, pretty soon the largest collection became the sun, and then the planets orbited around, and that basically blah, 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 etc., etc. After he was done explaining the planetesimal theory, I rose my hand and he called on me, and I said, Professor Hottentot, how do you know that's what actually happened? Were you actually there? I was not ready for the lecture hall's response. Immediately, 99 students burst out laughing. Well, obvious answer to why, because I caught him with his scientific pants down. You see, science demands an observer. Well, he said it's what actually happened, so I asked him if he was actually there. Now, how does this relate to the whole creation-evolution issue? Well, here's the kicker. After the laughter died down and his deer-in-headlights face resumed to normal, he said, well, this is what astronomers believe. Did you catch that? He changed actually happened into it's something that they believe. Now, this is where this video series is going to be arming you teenagers with the truth. What if I had never rose my hand and asked that question and challenged him? 99 people would have walked out of that lecture hall saying, yep, well, that's just how it is. Planetesimal sure explains everything. Instead, they go out saying, well, it's not actual fact, it's just something they believe in. I mean, there's evidence for it, I suppose, but there's also evidence for creation. So the next video we're going to be doing is going to be covering philosophy or worldview. I know you're thinking, oh, boring. Believe me, without this foundation, nothing else makes sense. So it's vitally important that you click on the button subscribe and tell your friends about this series, because with school starting up, pretty soon you're going to be dealing with that evolution unit, and you need to know how there's evolution right and evolution wrong. Talk to you next time. Bye for now.